Okay, I'm recording this for posterity. Welcome, let's see, Michelle, Bill, Piotr, Arifon, Jeffrey. I can't hear you. Could you say something?
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
God bless
Well,
America.
you're not from Poland.
I can't see a damn thing.
Nope.
Greece?
I use an ancient Greek pseudonym because when I joined in order to proof listen a project in ancient Greek.
Ancient Greeks?
An ancient Greek.
Gosh, see, we have so many talented people in this LibriVox community. I mean, people that do all kind of things. I see you now, Rich. I mean, when I was in school, they tried to teach me Greek. You just see, I guess ancient Greek. It was biblical Greek, and I couldn't learn it. But that's okay.
So I have to say something to you, Rich. That moon with that loon in it just blows me away. That is so beautiful. And I would like to know if I could put that. I do the astronomical newsletter for Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I would love to put that in our newsletter. Can I do that? I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
Your audio dropped.
Can't hear you, Rich. Oh, you don't have any? No, wait a minute. You've got your video on.
Can't hear you, Rich. Can't hear you.
Well,
When I tested it,
Speak. Talk.
okay. So, Rich, can you say something?
I can say something, but you can't.
There you
hear
go.
me.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Now we can hear you.
I'll send you a link to a high-res version of it, and you can publish it. Go ahead.
Excellent.
I would love to do that. Thank you so much. It is awesome.
Thank you.
Now, I know how Michelle and I both got interested in LibriVox because we live in the same town. But I don't know, Jeffrey, how did you learn about LibriVox and get involved in this?
Well, I guess I started doing a little bit of recording for fun, and then I saw that there was a project that needed a proof listener, so I joined in order to do that, and then I've done a number of project of chapters out of collaborative books, just to see my level.
So you've done some audiobook recording? I mean, professionally?
No,
Oh.
just for LibriVox.
Oh, just for LibriVox. Okay.
And a few things that I just put on archive on my own account.
Oh, cool.
That was before I joined LibriVox.
Okay. So do you enjoy recording or proof listening more?
Recording. I've decided that proof listening is just painful for me. I get so caught up into the details. I can't just relax and enjoy the.
Okay. Rich, I'm going to ask you that. How did you get involved with all this amazing community?
I started listening, and one of the things that I enjoyed most of all was hearing people, and then they would say, "I'm from Brisbane," or "I'm from South Carolina," or whatever. So it's neat that there are people reading to me from all over the world. And then I finally decided to start recording. So
What kind of stuff do you like to record?
Sleazy science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
And real science occasionally. And I've been working on a lot of children's books. I've been doing a lot of proof listening on children's books.
Oh, children's books. Cool.
It's amazing. Our interests are all different. Because I like science fiction too, but I like all kind of weird stuff.
You do a lot of children's books, Phil.
I
so
do. I try to
Probably
keep.
Rich has been working on your
I
stuff.
try to keep a children's book up for the beginners. You know, the people that getting started. In fact, I haven't done that recently. I need to find one. Oh, him, Grace Buchanan wants to join. Who is Grace Buchanan?
Grace
See-
is my buddy.
See, Rich, we have people all over the world
Hello, Grace.
who like to help people. Hello, Grace. I can't hear you and I can't see you. You don't
I see her
exist.
picture. Grace is one of the few that I have to give her a gold star because she rose to the challenge to help with the Wikipedia links.
Oh, how is
That
that
has
going?
been a very sad project for me because I
Oh.
presumed everybody would just immediately start
just
linking their projects to
Yes.
Wikipedia. Yeah, but it just hasn't happened. I mean, I don't know what's
Now, Michelle, how I'm not
I
gonna
don't
say,
think I've ever heard of this project.
would you explain that to us? And maybe while Grace sets up her camera and everything, tell us about the project of linking Wikipedia links.
okay. First of all, if you go to the wiki and you type in the little search bar, if you type in Wikipedia links, you'll get the whole printout rundown of exactly how to do it. Wikipedia is very, very touchy. They do not want just anybody to make links, you know, like it become like a link farm or an advertising agency for profit. They don't want that. So we have
Yeah.
to be very careful. We use an exact script that they gave us, and we sign in. We have an account. You can't do it you could do it as a guest, but that's a red flag for them. Anyway, if you go to the wiki page and you just type Wikipedia links, it will give you a page that will show you exactly
Okay,
how to do that.
The
point is that if you're a BC or a soloist, especially, you want to have when somebody goes to the Wikipedia page about your author or maybe your book, you want at the bottom to be a link back to your book, right? Back to your
okay.
back to your book. And
Oh.
so it's a great way to promote your own solo or your own book that you poured heart and soul into BC. And
So,
that's who I'm trying to interest in doing it on their own projects.
okay, let me ask you a question, Michelle. Okay, I have on my screen, I should be sharing it, our
Mhm.
LibriVox wiki. Okay, good.
Yep.
You can see, I see Richard nodding here. Now, if I type in here wiki links, would it bring me to,
Wikipedia links?
I have to type in Wikipedia.
Yeah, because wiki is the page you're looking at. Wikipedia is a completely different thing.
Wikipedia
Wikipedia
links.
links. And there you go. Things to keep in mind before. Okay, Wikipedia
Wow.
links. Here's a link to a Zoom tutorial on how to create book
Where?
and
Where?
author
Where?
Wikipedia links.
Well, right here, you have a Zoom tutorial.
There's a Zoom tutorial, and there's the printed out instructions
And there's your
underneath it,
instructions.
which is probably an easier way to do it. And you just
Here are
go
your
there, and
instructions.
there it is.
So let's put it this way. So somebody looks for Jules Verne and go to the Wikipedia, of course, and at the bottom of Wikipedia, there will be a link to your book.
Right, exactly. Okay, if you go to LibriVox, however you get to the homepage, with LibriVox.org.
Oh, LibriVox.org.
I'll just give you an example of how to find it. It's very easy.
I don't do. Hang in there. I'm looking.
How do you get to the homepage? You bet you never go to the
Captain
homepage.
Salt in Oz.
No, not the board index.
No, I'm going
Homepage. Go up a little higher.
Board
Under
index.
go up to the higher. Yeah, go where it says homepage. Higher.
higher.
No.
It's for,
Point to the LibriVox forum, and up there it says homepage.
yeah.
The first thing says
homepage.
homepage. Click that.
Thank you, Michelle.
Gosh. Now in the search bar, click Jules Verne. Say Jules Verne, since we're on Jules Verne.
I think that's how you spell Jules Verne.
Verne.
I don't even want him. He's not French
Okay,
guys.
click on that. Now this is what you call the author page. Okay.
Yeah.
Now if you click on Let's go down, go down, go down, go down, go down. If you go down, I want to make sure it's one that's linked, that I know is linked, which would be mine. Look at all of that. Oh my
Well, it
God.
should be up 20. How is it spelled out? 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It should be right here.
Yeah, but there's more than one version. That's not my version.
Well, I mean,
just pick
okay.
just pick any book. Just pick one.
Dr. Ox's Experiment.
Yeah. Okay. Now, if you go to the left column, down under there, go down, go down, go down. It says Wikipedia Jules Verne.
I'm clicking on that. Ah.
Okay. Now there
Jules
he is.
Gabriel.
Now go to the bottom of this page.
Yes.
Bottom. Go. I mean, it's way down there.
I mean, he's got a lot.
He got a lot. But down under external links, which is down at the bottom of the page, see where it says external links?
Yeah, I see all this. Jules Verne.
I'll be darned. Jules Verne. See, this is some work I need to do. Oh, yeah. Go to see where it says online editions?
Ebook form.
Okay. And go to the bottom and it says works by Jules Verne at LibriVox.
Cool.
Now, if you click on that. No. You clicked on LibriVox. Go back. Click on not LibriVox. Click on. Yeah, that's a mistake. That LibriVox should not be a link.
It should link directly to the Jules.
Yes,
Verne
it
book,
should. The LibriVox.
It does.
Okay, there it takes you right to that page. It also, if you go back and go back and go back. Just follow me a minute. Go back.
I'm with you.
Go back one more.
One more.
No, wait. No.
No.
Sorry. Go forward. Sorry, I screwed up. If you get to a book, there's two kinds of Wikipedia pages. There's the author page and there's the book page.
Oh, sure.
Click on Jules Verne. Click on that again. Now let's find a book. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, right? The one that's in English. It's not my version.
I don't see any in English.
Nah. Keep going. Keep going.
Around the world
in
I've
80
searched
days.
for you.
Okay. I think they're alphabetical, so there would be the T. So go to page 3.
Go to page 3.
They're alphabetical, I do believe.
This guy wrote a lot.
T.
Stuff.
Okay, you got to go to page 4.
Page 4. I'm with you.
It's alphabetical. T.
20. Here we go. T for 20. Okay.
Okay, do that version 3 one. Version 3. That's me. Ooh, now go to the bottom
picture. Nice
left,
picture.
Bottom left column. Okay. Go. Okay. Go to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
The Wikipedia?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Not Jules Verne. Yeah, the book. There's the book. Now go to the bottom. Go to the bottom. External links. You'll see
public domain audio book. You put that there.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea at LibriVox. Click on that.
There it is. And there you
takes you to the three versions of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Okay. So those are the links that we add to the Wikipedia pages. There's an author link and there's a book link. The book links to the page that has all iterations of your book. So when you do your solo or you BC a book, you would like to go to Wikipedia and put a link under external links back to your hard work that you've just done. That's what I've been teaching and have, except for on this forum here, except for Grace, I haven't gotten any takers.
Where is Grace? Grace, are you with us?
I see her.
Wait a minute, I don't see Grace. Oh, there you are. Yeah. So Grace has been helping.
Yeah, I'm on my phone, so it's hard for me to see.
Oh, really? You're using your phone?
Yeah.
Well, cool. That's
hard
beautiful.
Hard for me to keep track of all you guys and have the camera going at the same time.
Well, so I want to thank you for joining us, Grace.
Well, thanks for pulling us together, Phil.
Well, and I didn't know we'd fallen apart. Thank you. No, you're very welcome. No, I just get lonely. I'm sitting here in my little room here in Baton Rouge. I can't leave very often, and I'm working away at books, and I'm thinking, all these people around the world are enjoying doing books. I would like to talk to y'all. So having a session. I enjoy it. Now, Grace, you work with Michelle on putting these things on Wikipedia.
I have done a number of them, and I really, really felt good about doing them because, you know, like Michelle said, Wikipedia is a community where they want to keep outsiders out. They don't want anybody messing up the work they've done.
Sure.
And they can get extremely picky. And they can get extremely territorial. So Michelle did a marvelous job putting together detailed directions for how to speak their language so they recognize us as friends when we put links on posts. And it usually works. Sometimes somebody doesn't realize that we're acting like insiders and they can just delete the work that we did to link LibriVox with them. But for the most part, it's just so worthwhile because I think that a lot of people do go through Wikipedia to find audiobooks written by various authors or to find out more about what their favorite author does.
Sadly, I saw an interview by the Wikipedia founder a couple of months ago on TV. And he said that if he had had his druthers, he would have never started Wikipedia because it's turned out to be very biased. There's people that have literally taken it over and have taken, instead of it being open, really open source, there are several sites that are locked where you can't change the content. There are sites where they don't welcome any further content. And especially with new news, things that are brand new, hot off the press, things like what we're doing with the books, it's all fine. You know, what can we do? We just put a link to our books. That's all we can do. And that's very instructional and shouldn't get a whole lot of hassle, although a few people have hassled a few people. But if we follow the rules really strictly, just exactly as specified, we won't have any trouble. We do have an inside contact. There's one of our readers, his name is Kazbak. He's an MC. He's also a Wikipedia insider. And he's given me a lot of direction and exactly how to approach. Most of what I've written has come from his insight.
That's a lot of work, Michelle. I mean, I appreciate it.
It's really not a lot of work. Once you get used to the routine of it, it's just takes an extra 15 minutes.
Find out how to do it. It's like LibriVox, folks. People complain a lot. I mean, we are very restrictive. I mean, to get in here, my estimate still is that even to get through registration, we lose 50% of people that can't do it. It's just too complicated. And then once you get here, we've got all these rules and can't do this, and you got to do this. But rules are there because somebody screwed up. I'm sure Wikipedia people will put in all kind of horrible things on, adding misinformation constantly. And so they tightened it up. But I'm not saying that. I understand your disappointment about the fact that people aren't excited about this. You've only had maybe one or two people that have jumped on the bandwagon.
My approach was to enlist a group of volunteers, and we would just, I subscribe to the RSS feed. So every day in my email, I know exactly what books have been published, cataloged. And sometimes it's 3 or 4 books a day. And sometimes it's 10 or 12 books a day.
My goodness.
And we just simply, look, 16,000 books is a lot of links to Wikipedia. And I will never catch up. One person can never catch up. 10 people will never catch up, but we could keep current, so I started, I'll just do the most, as they come off the press, I'll do them, but I couldn't keep up with that either. So my next tack, which I would like to talk to y'all about, because I bet everybody here is a BC. Most of y'all have BC.
I'm a BC.
If we could get the BCs on board as part of their routine process, or MCs. Once you catalog a book, the next step is you give the Wikipedia link. I've passed that by a few MCs, and they're like, nah, I ain't doing it. I don't care. And so I don't
Okay.
know how to do it, but it's going to happen eventually because it's such good advertising. It's such to draw people into our work, you know. And the scuttlebutt I get from the older MCs is, well, that's not part of our mission. Our mission is just to record them. I'm like, well, my mission is to have people hear what we've recorded, you know. It seems like a
And-
logical next
And
step.
that's wonderful. It's I mean, Michelle, you're old enough and I'm old enough to know that many times I get excited about stuff and everybody says, yeah, you know, I don't want to do that. My children say, oh man, look at this. Yeah, right. Go away, Phil. And it's life.
I don't give up easy.
People are not always interested. Anyway, I encourage to do it. I don't know, is it effective? When people go to Wikipedia, they're looking up an author, somebody they like, you know, I don't know who choose from. And do they actually link to? Do we have any feedback at all that they come
No.
and I mean, okay, we don't know. Okay,
No
well,
feedback.
but it's good to be there. I'm not complaining. It's just I hate to say that it's not my thing. If I had a choice of proof listening or editing or something with my time, I would do that. But I encourage it. It's like dramatic readings. Anybody in here in dramatic readings?
Mhm.
Rich. Okay.
I've done some.
We
Yeah,
have.
me either.
You have not, Jeffrey?
I've not.
Dramatic readings are a very, how can I put it? They're very active group inside of LibriVox.
Yeah,
I've
like
done
a little subculture.
It is. I've done some. Oh, I mean, subcultures. Look at the book cover people. I mean, those are
Yeah, we are a
specialized.
subculture.
No,
We're
but
definitely a
you
subculture.
people do amazing. The covers are just amazing. But the point is, I don't know how to do any of that stuff. And I rely on you. But the dramatic readings have a very active. They love dramatic reading. I think Rich, didn't you want to do one recently?
Yes, but I've kind of given up on it.
Oh yeah, the Space Cadets.
Yes.
Yeah, I just can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, don't give up.
Well, I'll
I mean,
consider it. Keep considering it.
well, let me ask you
I
a
may
question.
change it to a solo, but
Let me ask you a question. Why do you find dramatic readings fun, interesting to do? What is it that pulls you toward this, having people read parts?
I'm kind of fascinated by the editing process, and I know that it's a bear to get all those different voices and keep track of them and get them sorted in the right place. But if it's done well, it's really neat.
Let me ask you about that. I mean, what do you mean when you say you're fascinated by the editing process? You like doing it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, you see, that to me, I did it once. I did a DR once. I edited it, and it was nerve-wracking. It was very difficult, and it really is. I could put I had all these screens up at the same time, and I just had a hard time. So I said, "Nah, I ain't doing this again." Oh, okay, and I
Also,
I
I
did
can-
some. Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say that I did some editing at some point because I just wanted to try it. It's yeah, like Phil said, it can be frustrating, especially when you've got an act or a scene when you have several participants and you have to consult the list of dialogues every moment and know which line to put in which order. But it's fun.
It's a craft. It's something that's enjoyable. But I've gotten feedback from that the dramatic readings are very popular. People love to listen to them. Now, I could be wrong about that, but that's what I've heard. That our DRs, they go up and people instantly jump on them. People seem to like it. I don't know.
Unless you're very good at voices, getting multiple people to do the voices makes the characters more separate.
Ah, yeah, you got different people reading, Anne of Green Gables or Anne and all the other people. When you're doing a solo, you got to do the best you can, folks. Yeah. Which is a good question. Anybody in here Has everybody done a solo?
One.
Yes.
I've done, okay.
Zillions.
Yeah, Michelle's done a lot. I've done a lot. Question of voices. People ask me, I mean, I gave up on voices. I have to tell you what, I don't make any conscious effort at all. If I'm reading,
Oh, I beg to differ with you. One of my favorite LibriVox books is your version of not the Wizard of Oz, but what's that one where he has the postal, he's got that postal.
Dr. Doolittle's post office.
Yeah, Dr. Doolittle's post office. You do a lot of voices in that one,
Well,
and they are so good.
But they're all unconscious. I don't know how to put it. Maybe
You have a cat.
When I'm
You have a
reading,
bird.
I have a bird. Oh, I have all kind of voices. But the point is,
Mhm.
I don't even know I'm doing them. But thank you very much for that compliment. Dr.
I
great-
think that's
like
what
great
makes
little
them
book.
so good. I think that you don't know that you're doing them. It's coming out of you instead of being something that you're putting on fake.
Could
And I
be.
think that's what listeners really appreciate.
Well,
Dr.
yeah,
Doolittle's
I
post
always
office.
record I pretend I'm reading to children, especially my children's book.
Mhm.
And if I can see the kids sitting around me, I click into this mode of, and then Dr. Doolittle, if there would be a video of
The
me, you see me
storyteller mode.
waving my arms all over the place. So that's cool. But
Can I bring up another
Yes.
another project that I'm
Absolutely.
hoping I can get
Go.
done one of these days? We have assets that I think that are very underutilized. One of which is when a project catalogs, like if you're the proof listener, you have listened to the entire book. You're the first person that the recorder actually knows listened to his book. The book is put up on Internet Archive. Okay, if you go to the Internet Archive, you have an opportunity to leave a review. Now, most books that we have, there are no reviews. And every time I proof listen a book, or even if I make the cover of a book, usually if I make the cover for a book, I listen to the book first, so I know what to do for the cover. And if I don't like the book, which has happened sometimes, I don't leave a review. But if I like the book, I mean, I never say anything bad, never. That would be shooting myself in the foot. But if I like the book, I don't have to love the book, but if I like the book, I will leave a review. Like interesting plot line, say a little bit something about the plot and say a little bit something about the reader. Nice match, reader did a good job. Nothing extraordinary, and I always give it 5 stars. I never do a 3-star because it's 5 stars because it exists, because it's good, because it's free, because somebody tried their best, Anyway, I think that the idea is to leave a review. We also, and it's free and it takes 2 minutes. So if you've listened to a LibriVox book, go to Internet Archive and just leave a review. If you can say anything positive. That's one of our, selling points. Once again, when I bring that up to the MCs, they're like, it's not our job to sell these books. It's just our job to record them. And it just makes me sick. Of course, what does it cost us to let people know, And then there's the LibriVox audiobook app, which I've done a tutorial on, actually. Done a tutorial on the LibriVox audiobook app, which is you could download it for $1.99, and all of our books go up on there with their covers, and there's an opportunity on that app to leave a review for any book that you listen to on your phone. I don't know how y'all listen. Oh, I want to talk to y'all about how you listen how do you listen to audiobooks?
Well,
that's a big topic.
That is an excellent. Somebody, yeah, Michelle, you're right. I have not put that app on my iPhone. Okay. I got so many.
And I did a whole tutorial on that for you, and you did not even do it.
Yeah, I have not. I confess.
Shame.
Now listen, look at your book. I have the screen up. This is your book, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. It's got 140,000 views. This is, and it's got 19 favorites. Now, if everybody knows what that means, is that somebody went up here and says, "Oh, cool, man, I want to."
There's a little star
There's a
at the
little box
bottom,
right here at the
there, and you
bottom.
click on it, and it's
And now it's one of my. Now it's got 20 favorites.
and when you favorite it, if you go up a little higher on the page, you'll see up there it says Phil Chenevert. You see that, Phil?
Yeah, that's me. I'm in here.
Okay, if you do that drop down list right there, click on that. You see my favorites.
Yeah.
So all your favorites, that books that you loved or books that you follow, they're all listed there. So anything you favorite is there for you.
That's how I keep track of stuff. I'd be honest with you. It's easy. But anyway, so what you're saying is there's 3 reviews.
Go down to the bottom of the page.
So your suggestion, and this is a great idea. I like this.
Go to the bottom, and I'll show you how to do it. Right there, it says reviews. There's 3 reviews, and up there it says add a review.
Oh, there they are.
Right there.
Wow.
Add review.
And you could, where does it say add a review?
Oh, to over here to the right of the word reviews. Oh, go up one.
I have to move my thing
Go up a
around
click. Right there, stop. In the middle of the page, right in the middle of the page.
Oh, add for more.
No, go to the
plus
middle of
sign.
the page, down, go down.
No.
Go to the left a little.
To the left
Put
a
your
little.
arrow,
Add
now go
review.
down. Right there, right there. See that
know,
plus sign?
I went to the eye doctor yesterday and he says, my eyes are not that good anymore, Phil. I said, well,
Okay, click on add review. Click on it.
I'm clicking. I need to do this. I really appreciate this. This is excellent information. Because
So if you click on it, I'll show you what you do
I
next.
clicked on it, but it ain't doing nothing.
Oh, really?
Well,
Well, you've got to
review.
click on
there it is.
Oh, there you
Okay,
go.
good. Let
And
me
there's
move
the
that.
title. You give a title, you write your little review, and you give it the stars, and then you click update. What a story. You haven't even listened to my. Oh,
Shut
Jules
up.
Verne.
How much Latin?
Ah,
From what I can remember.
Huh? What did you say?
No, I'm just going from my memory as a proof listener for this one. So my title would be how much Latin?
how much Latin?
how
You
many-
remember there were
how
tons
many
and tons and
scientists-
tons of Latin names of various
Right.
species.
Right. Oh, and you give it a star. So give it your stars.
Okay, now I've clicked on that, and now how do I go back to my?
And you wait just a moment, and it'll come up with your 4th review.
Well, listen, on my things to do today, I'm going to put that on my phone, but to put the app on my phone.
Okay,
if-
now let me tell you about the app. You have to go and
Well,
look at.
It's not doing anything.
Okay, there's what I want to say is there's 2 versions of that app. Now you have to listen carefully, everybody. Do not get the free version. The free version is just replete with advertising. It's so annoying. Get the paid version. It only costs $1.99.
Okay.
It's so well worth it. And then you just will, I think I have a tutorial somewhere. I did a tutorial on this app. Remember, Phil?
Yes,
You had
did.
that app lady come and she talked about it,
That's
and I
right.
talked
Yeah,
about
that
it.
was last year.
There
Okay.
is a video on that somewhere.
Oh,
Okay,
I've seen
click
it.
on the details page or something, and it'll take you back.
Okay, it takes me right
There
back.
you go.
Okay.
Now
Now we
there,
got
if you go
4
down there,
reviews.
you'll
Oh, we only
see your
got 4.
review.
Well, that's okay.
4 reviews.
So I thank you for doing that. This is something that
Mhm.
we can do, and I'm going to I don't listen to as many books these days because of, well, real
So I
life.
would like to do a Zoom tutorial on how to leave reviews. How about that?
That would be great. Now, I have another session tonight. We're going to talk about the same thing. If you want to come back and see if anybody joins us,
I'm going to come back. I want to meet some foreigners.
and we can talk. Yeah, I like to see these people. Man. I know Rich. I know Bill, of course. I don't know Jeffrey, but I'm glad to see your face, Jeffrey and Grace. Okay. Now what am I doing here? I'm on my Zoom call. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of things. Does anybody have any topics they'd like to talk about?
I do. Of course, I'm always got something.
Go right ahead.
I'm sorry. I'd like to go down the list. How do you listen to podcasts? How do you listen to LibriVox audiobooks? How do you
What
listen? to
hardware?
these?
How's that?
On what hardware?
That's the
Laptop,
question.
laptop, or phone?
That's the question.
How do you listen? Okay.
I use the Audipo app.
Audible?
Audipo, yeah.
Spell it. It's
Uh,
not audible.
Audipo.
Audipo. I'm going to
Audipo.
write
Yeah,
that down.
Yeah, so one of the nice features is that it allows you to control listening at any speed, and it allows you to add bookmarks in the middle of a long
Mhm.
file. So here's
Mhm.
so Casanova's Voyage Home and a LibriVox book, and
Mhm.
I've added points that I can come back to
Mhm.
where I wanted to listen. And
The LibriVox app does that too. It has
Okay.
infinitely variable speed, just a little slide bar. Other things have like podcast app has 50%, 100%, 100 and a half, 200. It just doesn't work because most of the time you just want to bump somebody up, right? Just a little bit faster, a little bit slower.
Right.
So
So this,
audiobook app does that. I'm going to look up that Audipo.
Mhm.
And the LibriVox audiobook app is great because it concentrates on LibriVox audiobooks.
Yeah.
You can look for all the new ones. You can look for a reader, any reader you like. It'll list all their books. It'll have you can have genres, like if you just like sci-fi, you type that in, it lists all the sci-fi books, children's books. It's just tailor-made for LibriVox, and it's $1.99. I don't know how
Nice.
anybody else can live without it, actually.
I went out and downloaded it after your talk the last time. So
Are you using it?
not as much as I'm so far behind on regular podcasts that's most of my time listening to stuff, unless I'm proof listening. And then I'm doing it on my computer.
So we've heard from several people. Bob, we talked out here. How do you listen to the LibriVox books? Let's see. Anybody else? Grace?
How do you listen, Phil? to
I don't.
LibriVox books?
I don't.
You don't. I didn't think you did. You just record.
Yes. I made some choices in my life, and my joy comes from performing. I can't be on the stage anymore, so I like that. And I like helping people. It's helping people. It's really fun. But
How about you, Grace?
I'm going to put it on my phone today, and I'm going to listen to some books. Yes, from LibriVox. How did they get on there? I mean, who owns that app? Is it just a
The guy that owns the app is a member of LibriVox, and he's got it automated for both Android and iPhone. The concentration is on the Android for improvements, but it's just wonderful for iPhone as well.
Okay, cool.
We have nothing to do with it. It has nothing to do with LibriVox in terms of.
It just notices when there's a new recording.
I think it's it probably just like me, it subscribes to the RSS feed, and whereas I just see it in an email, it does its whole thing.
Okay. Rich, you mentioned you do a podcast. What about?
No, I listen to podcasts.
Oh, I thought you did.
I do too.
My listening time.
I do too, all day.
You listen to podcasts. That's another interesting. I don't listen to podcasts. My therapist recommended this podcast a week or two ago, and it's interesting. These two ladies are sitting there talking to each other, and apparently this goes on all the time. Millions of people are making podcasts, and other people are listening to them. I don't do that. Anyway, listen, I want to ask a question about what you're working on now. Jeffrey, are you doing anything?
I'm in the middle of chapter 24 of the Newcomes by Thackeray. I'm involved in that project.
Chapter 24 of what book?
So the Newcomes. It's It's a Thackeray novel I'd never heard of before I
Un-
saw it showing up on
That's
LibriVox.
persistent. May chapter 24. Okay.
Yeah, so I've done, so it's a collaborative. So I've done what, 7 and 13, and then doing
Oh.
24.
So in other words, y'all
Yeah, I don't feel ready to do a novel as a solo project yet. It was just too time consuming.
Well, that's a great option to do it with
Mhm.
somebody else. You
Mhm.
you flip and flop. Okay,
Mhm.
that's cool. Grace, are you working on something?
Yeah, I'm working on waiting for stuff to come in. I replaced my microphone and got busy with getting, just other stuff on my to-do list out of the way, waiting for the microphone to come in. And it took months, and it finally came in, and now my computer is dying. So,
Yeah, ain't that the
so
way it
now I'm
works?
waiting for the computer to come in, and still working on that to-do list, getting stuff out of the way so I can just focus on recording once everything pulls together again.
Do you have a project you're just waiting to jump into?
Yeah, I started recording Zadig when
Oh, really?
did
I love that
replacing the
one.
microphone.
Wait,
And
which
oh,
one?
thanks. Zadig by Voltaire.
Mhm.
Oh, what, Candide
And,
or
Zadig.
Zadig?
I did the cover for the French version of Zadig.
Oh,
You'll have to go look it
marvelous.
up. It's fascinating.
Ah, that
Oh, that's
sounds
great.
interesting.
Great.
Now I'll actually be able to read the story because I don't read French. I can't listen to French.
I don't either, but I listened to it in French just for the fun of it.
Oh, you
And
did?
I don't remember if it was the LibriVox version or another. It must have been the LibriVox version.
Mhm.
It was some time ago. I listened to it just because I knew I wanted to record it, and I just wanted to hear it.
So you heard, you
And I
listened?
wanted to hear the name. I wanted to make sure I was pronouncing the name correctly.
Ah,
too.
that's it.
Right.
So you listened to it in French. I'm sure it was beautifully read, and you
It was.
didn't understand it, but you heard the names.
Well,
Okay.
I could follow along with it well enough because I heard the names and I heard the places, and
Okay.
so I was able to follow along with it enough, even though I didn't know the French, and I just enjoyed hearing the sound of the
Well, the
of the
sound
French
is,
being
yeah, the sound of,
spoken.
and was that a LibriVox recording or an Audible
Well,
recording?
I think it probably was. I don't know where else I would have looked. And Michelle, you said that LibriVox has one, so that would have caught my
Mhm.
eye,
Mhm.
and I would have been drawn to that. I don't know where else I would have found one to
What a
listen to.
cool idea. And that's cool. We have some inventive people here, you know that? I
Well,
hope
Michelle, you were talking about the Wikipedia links, and I was thinking about the person who has figured out some way so that every time a LibriVox book is recorded, it automatically goes onto YouTube with the cover
oh,
and with with some of the metadata or all of it. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
automatically?
And automatic.
That's amazing.
He got complete. I think it's he got completely caught up around a year ago, and now just sits back and it just does it itself.
Wait,
And Michelle, you were mentioning that with the LibriVox app, they have it set up to automatically happen.
Mhm.
And I wonder if somebody knows if there's a way to do that with Wikipedia.
Mhm. I don't know if Wikipedia would accept automation of any kind. That's the problem.
wait,
But
wait.
maybe I can get in touch with Kazbek. He's one of our MCs and ask him, and he can ask around there. Or you could do the same.
I
Just
wouldn't,
ask.
I don't think it's going to work, but you can talk to him. Grace, I want to ask you again.
Because we'll never catch up. Literally, we're
Well,
producing
no.
way too much to
What do we
keep
have?
up, much less catch up.
16,000. Okay, Grace, I'll go back to what you said. Every one of our
I'm making note of that.
books is going on YouTube.
Yes.
I didn't
And
know
they're
that.
getting, and it's, I used to be really concerned about, other people listing our books for sale and other people listing our books on, copying those videos and putting them on YouTube. But I've done spot checks, very small samples, but I've done enough spot checks that I don't worry about people, quote unquote, pirating our work at all, because other people our books that are on our LibriVox channel have a marvelous number of viewers. And the people who, each time I've looked up those books, and they've been posted, the same books have been posted by other people, you know, our LibriVox books have been posted on other people's channels. They get 0. I think I've seen as many as 3 views on other channels. And they just don't market them, or they're not reaching people. People are apparently following our channel and watching them on YouTube, even though
Wait.
it's just a picture of the cover and it's just, you
a
know,
reader. Wait a
yeah,
minute, you're saying there's a LibriVox YouTube channel?
yeah.
I'm
Well,
incredulous
the
here.
the downside to that, and why I wouldn't do it, is because it doesn't divide things into chapters. You know, you don't get as
Right.
much control.
Oh, you just get a one.
You
That
just
is
get the book,
amazing.
right? I mean, you don't
Yeah,
really get,
it's sometimes it is broken up, but maybe because it was broken up at LibriVox to start with into parts, I don't know. But
Mhm.
sometimes the book is broken up, and maybe the person who uploaded it to YouTube broke it up. I don't know.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, it's really cool.
Yeah, and
I like to see my
LibriVox
covers
member.
anywhere I can see them. And
It's a
they do
YouTube member who
do
did it.
them, you know, they don't stretch them or anything. They look pretty good.
How do I get out of here?
Yeah, so that's Bank's channel.
I'm sorry. I'm in internet.
I'm sharing the LibriVox YouTube channel here.
Oh,
So,
you're sharing it.
Ah,
Okay.
Yeah.
they do
Wait a minute,
so
stretch
there it
the
is. You
covers.
just go to YouTube and type in LibriVox, and there it is.
I'm sorry. Now I've lost everything. I can't see anything. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my screen. I must have put it into.
Put it up there again. Oh, somebody else was sharing their screen.
I'm trying.
You
Okay,
have
good.
screen sharing allowed, so somebody else shared their
Oh, I've
screen.
allowed everybody can share
Who
their
was
screen.
that? Was that you, Rich, that shared your screen?
Yes, yes.
Can you put it up again, please?
I can.
You cannot?
Oh,
Here we go.
oh, hold on a second. I'm trying to. I can't see any.
There, because that's my cover, the cross examinations. I like to look at my covers.
Ah, here we go. This is called the
I'm sorry, I'm
LibriVox
vain.
Audiobooks. 77,000 subscribers. That's
That's
hefty
my
thing.
cover too.
Look at that. Which
That-
ones?
The
Which
one
one?
that says "When the World Shook." I just did that cover.
I don't
And
have.
it looks like they're in order. Can you scroll down a little bit? It looks like maybe they're in the order that they've just come off the press. Yeah, because I just finished cross examinations. I just finished.
That would be
Go
easy.
down. Can you go down?
I'm as far down as it goes here. You have to. Oh, I think you can pull over.
Oh, you can
Or-
do there's right arrows. Try the
Yeah,
right arrow.
but there's just one click on the right arrow. So
Oh,
So how can you search?
I don't know how you search.
Search box at the top.
Well, I mean, we got
here's a
channels.
search button right
Magnifying
here.
glass.
This is cool. I appreciate sharing. See, this is where I like to talk to you. This stuff going on, I don't know nothing about.
So it
Oh,
takes
no,
every
there's
new
different
book and,
formats.
Oh, look,
and
Mark Smith did
automatically
it.
splices it together.
Look, guys, see how it says parts 1 of 3? What does
Yeah,
that mean?
because the book is too long for one YouTube
okay,
video.
okay. The Mysterious Island by Mark Smith. Oh, I bet you that's
I love
cool.
that. God,
Oh,
it's so
man.
good.
That's the first book I listened to on LibriVox. That's Mysterious Island by Mark Smith. And I was hook, line, and sinker right from there.
Well, cool. Thank you, Bill. I was trying to figure out how to do it, and you done it. I forgot you people are talented. Bill.
Yeah, and somebody, the person who did that, now that he has all this time on his hands because he's not manually putting each book on YouTube, now I think it's a he. He did at least one report on how many, like what the top 10 books were, according to how many hours people listened. And so YouTube gives him all this data.
Oh,
and he
really?
gave a little report on how many hours people listened to our channel, who listened to our channel, how many men, how many women.
Oh my gosh.
What their age brackets
My
were.
gosh.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was in That was in one of the forums just recently.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out which forum that is because I read his stuff for a while there and you were on it and I was listening to that.
Yeah, I thought I saw your
Was
name
it
on it, so
news, comments, suggestions?
maybe.
Well,
That sounds like a reasonable place to look for
that
it.
sounds like a reasonable place.
Oh, so
The
that, yeah, that
API
username
thread.
does look familiar.
Michelle, the API thread.
API thread.
Yeah, what's that mean? That's the API, the automatic pumpkin inspector. No. Bill, what I mean, I know we're talking about
Application programmer interface.
Yes.
Thank you, Jefferson. I know these young guys that know all that stuff. Well, okay, so we have some talented person who knows how to code wrote this thing, and now our books are exposed to people that go on YouTube because millions of people surf YouTube all the time watching, how to carve pumpkins and I use it constantly. If I don't know how to change my toilet thing there, I go on there and somebody tells me. So YouTube is
A lot of people have a lot to share and they don't all want to just make money at it. They just want to share what they know. They just love to share what they know.
well, I'm glad. Well, okay. Thank you for sharing that about the YouTube channel. Bill, we never got to you. Are you working on any projects?
Yep, I'm working on one. I'm working on a survey of the 19th century physicists on whose shoulders Einstein stood while developing the special and general theory of relativity. And my plan is for each of those people whom I select, I find a book about him, a biographical source, and then something by him. Most of these guys gave public lectures. So like for Helmholtz, I have a biography of Helmholtz and then his popular lectures. And now I'm on Lorentz and like the Lorentz transformation equations, and there's very little about him that doesn't include a whole bunch of higher mathematics. I mean, I have pages and pages of partial differential equations and and a reader cannot read that. It just makes no sense.
Jeffrey probably can.
And
Even if
make
you
it
can read
intelligible
it,
to listeners.
it's so much easier if it's printed out and you can like go back and forth with your eyes. If you're listening to that stuff, it would be totally bewildering.
So
Well, if a whole quadrant of partial differential equations is shown on the paper, and then the text says, and this gives us this following product, and it's another set, half-page long set of partial differential equations, like the Schrodinger equation. You can't read that. It's just not. It doesn't fit into words.
What if you could take the reading the words and then having pictures of the equations and mix audio and video on a YouTube video? How about that?
That would help, but I don't think that, in my poor knowledge, LibriVox doesn't hold with insertion of graphical elements.
No, but YouTube does.
An MP3 file.
Yeah, but we do have the capability of adding a PDF.
That's
cover.
true.
We do.
Oh yeah, in the summary.
An MP3
In the summary.
file. I'm talking about the MP3 file that LibriVox produces. It's by definition an audio stream.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds to me like
for the summary. Believe me, like these Lorentz things, they go on for pages and pages and pages, and you have to have that summary up on your screen.
Yes, you really need that PDF file to accompany it so people can see that.
So you say that in the summary, please, as you listen to chapter 3, please go to this PDF file and that's right.
Well, in
or just go to the Gutenberg printed version and follow along as it's read.
Oh, that's too simple.
then they don't. They don't
Oh,
need
sorry.
audio, do they have it in front of them printed. Okay,
It's too
so
straightforward. Rich, we can't.
Well, I'm
that's what I'm
impressed.
doing. Two books or sources for each of the famous pre-Einstein physicists.
How are you going to? I mean, is this for LibriVox?
Yes.
And then what is the title going to be?
Well, each portion, like for the Helmholtz, the popular lectures, is just Helmholtz popular lectures. That's
The name of the actual book that you're going
is
to be reading
Helmholtz
from.
popular
I mean,
lectures.
the project, like Einstein's predecessors in science or something like that.
Oh, you're talking about what category? Like if there's
No, the title of the. In other words, he's putting together apparently a project that
So-
has multiple sources to explore the predecessors of Einstein, the people he stood on. Is that right, Bill?
Yes. On whose shoulders he
On
stood.
whose shoulders? Sure.
Okay, well, if LibriVox has a way of saying, here is a group of readings, recitations about 7 or 8 19th century philosophers and physicists.
so
And
that's called a collection. A collection.
I mean,
Well,
Let me get
Okay.
Phil to do something for me, and I'll show you a collection.
sure.
Phil, if you go to the LibriVox homepage, like you did before,
LibriVox homepage. Let's see if I can find the LibriVox homepage. No, I don't know how to get out of here.
just close it.
No, I can't close it. I don't see the close button. Maybe I'm in full screen or something.
Michelle, can't you show your screen and do it yourself?
Yeah, Michelle, you show us. I don't have to do it.
I don't know how to show my screen. Let me see. Share screen. All right.
Share screen and then
That's the
pull up
clue,
on
yeah.
your computer the thing, 'cause
Share screen. Let me
I don't know what I've done
get,
wrong here. Oh, I know what I've done wrong.
share my screen. Okay, if I share my whole screen, I don't want to share my screen. Share my screen. There's my screen.
And then you have to find your
But now,
screen.
hold on a minute. I have to go to. Oh, gee whiz, I don't know. Oh,
Yay.
There you are.
there's my screen, but
Share.
I don't want that screen. I want. Okay, here's a LibriVox homepage. Let me get to LibriVox homepage. Okay, I'm going to go to Ingersoll on famous people. This is a collection of projects. I just want to show this is a collection of projects I just finished. No results found. Come on. Ingersoll on famous people. I just clicked on that. Of course, it's got to be there.
That's the name of your project, correct?
Oh, crap.
Uh-oh. It doesn't exist, Michelle.
It does
Is it
exist.
It's
It
gotten lost.
Does exist.
Oh
It
no,
does
we
exist.
deleted that. We figured it was
No,
too
we
irreligious.
did not. Ingersoll lectures on famous people.
There you go.
Actually, this is Ingersoll's lectures on like infidels and free thinkers and all my favorite people. And
On Homo.
each one of
on
these
Homo.
things is a lecture that is in his collected works. I've decided to break all that out to individual persons. This is each different project: Abraham Lincoln, Ernest Renan, Humboldt, Robert Burns. That's my latest finished one. Shakespeare, The Great Infidels, The Holy Bible, Thomas Paine, Voltaire, Walt Whitman, and Which Way is something else.
Impressed.
So anyway, each one of those is a separate hi, good morning. Separate cataloged project. And then they all got put together in one collection. So you could do the same thing with your pre-Einsteinian inventors. You just
Oh,
come
no,
up with a You come up with a name for the
You need a
thing. You tell your
snappy title.
MC to please start
No.
a collection. Now watch this. I'm going to just click on any one of these. I just want to show you one more little thing. My latest Ingersoll on Robert Burns. And there's the summary. And underneath the summary, it says group Ingersoll lectures on famous people. So you can
Wait a
tell
minute.
your MC
Exactly
that
like
you
what
would
you
like
need,
to
Bill.
start a group.
How do you start a group? I didn't know that. I don't know how to do that.
Don't know. Don't have no idea. That's the internal workings. So this project has been like several in the making. There were 11 total projects and it took me over a year to finish them all. I didn't record them. I had people help me record them. So there you go. That's how you do that. Now I can stop sharing my screen. Stop sharing my screen. Did that help, William?
At a future point in time, I'll come back to you and contact you about making a group and naming and putting these things in
You
it.
just ask your MC to make a group. But you're going to have several things in the group.
I hate to get an MC involved.
Well, I can't do it for you. You have to ask your MC to do it. Only they can do it.
I don't know how to do it. I'll have to find out, Michelle. That's new to me.
Create a
I'm-
group.
But you need a snappy title for it, man. Like,
Snappy.
the shoulders on which Einstein stood, :
Pre-Einsteinian.
No, make it
Scientists.
snappy,
Physicist, yeah.
Einstein would have been nothing without these guys. I don't know, but something like that. Okay, well, I'm very impressed. That is very technological, so far beyond me. I'm impressed.
Can
And
I
we got-
say, can I just talk to y'all about my last final project on that famous people?
Absolutely, Michelle.
This is something, it took me a year to find a true Scots accent. We got a lot of Irish people, but we have no Scotsmen in LibriVox. There are no true Scotch voices in LibriVox. Well, there is one, but it wasn't what I was looking for. And I held on to this Robert Burns thing because the lecture is Ingersoll talking about Burns, and then he puts in a Burns poem or a part of a Burns poem to illustrate what he means by what he's saying about Burns.
Okay.
So there's like 7 sections, and 5 of the 7 sections has parts of Robert Burns's poems in them. I can't read Robert Burns. I wanted an authentic Scotch accent. And my purpose, I wanted a Scotsman who would read Burns in such a way that when a word came up that English people cannot understand, that he would say it in English. Okay. Like, I can't think of one, but there's certain words that just aren't in the English language. And some of them are pivotal words, like cottage. They say cot. And I asked him, I said, when I finally found him, he just barely signed up for LibriVox. He's brand new. And I immediately pounced on him
Grabbed him.
I grabbed him. He agreed to do it. I proof listened the work, and he was like, no, I'm not changing that. I'm a Scotsman. This is what Robert Burns said, and this is I'm not going to change it. And he said, the Scots people are very adamant that we're going to hang on to our language. We're not changing it for the British, for you sleazy Americans. We're keeping our dialect pure. So in a way, I didn't get what I wanted because I wanted people to be able to understand it. But it's a very short book, and I highly recommend it because when he reads Robert Burns, it is electric. It's just like you get a jolt of electricity.
Ooh.
It's very exciting to have him read that dialect like that. So it's really
And
short.
Michelle,
It's just,
you've preserved that piece of the culture.
I
That's
preserved it.
marvelous.
And the weird part is that he didn't stick around in LibriVox. He left before I proof listened his final few poems. And there's a couple of mistakes in there. With the previous one, he corrected, like when he said a wrong word. And so there is one wrong word that we decided we would just leave it in rather than get somebody else to try to say it, because nobody's going to notice that it's there. Anyway, talk about a challenging dramatic production, where you had to splice two people in. It was very exciting, and that's what keeps me here at
That's
LibriVox.
cool.
And challenges like that.
So what's your next challenge?
I love James Stephens, another Scottish or Irish reader. He's quirky. I did all the books I can do. There's one book left, and that's called Deirdre. It's got so many Scottish names to it. I simply cannot pronounce them. Taj Hines, remember Taj? He helped me.
Yes.
Taj, I can't pronounce his name.
Ty. He says.
But anyway, he's a fantastic reader, and he did all the Thomas Hardy books, and I listened to all of them, and then I solicit his help as I read the James Stephens books and short stories. I'm working on Morgan's Frenzy right now. Beautiful, just the most upbeat, funniest stories. I love that. I like things that are quirky. I like things that are.
Are they in dialect?
No, they're not exactly in dialect,
Okay.
but they have a lot of Scottish gods and towns and things that have to be done correctly.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm up to.
Okay, I think I've asked everybody what you're working on. Everybody had a chance to tell us what your dreams and aspirations are. Jeffrey, see, Rich, I don't know. I don't remember.
Jeffrey, you and Bill Jones need to get together, because he's a computer geek, and he hasn't told us a word about his API project, which I'm privy to. Jeffrey? That is just magnificent and could be a solution to all this Wikipedia problems. He's worked almost a year on the back end of going through every single LibriVox project and telling whether it had a Wikipedia link. He's got his program that's I can sort by Phil Chenevert and see a list of everything you've ever recorded, every one of your solos, everything you've BC'd. It's just phenomenal.
Wait, who did that?
But we don't know what to do with it. He doesn't know what.
Who are you talking about?
Bill. William. Yeah, William.
Bill did that.
Jones.
Okay.
C'est moi. Yeah.
C'est moi. The French.
It's a question of how exactly to use it.
It was totally and violently ignored by all the MCs I asked.
You violently.
The silence is just deafening.
I love that. Violently ignored. What now? I'm an admin, although I'm a very low level admin. What do you mean? This is a program that has the ability to do what? Tell me again.
Tell us.
Anything that a person at the keyboard can do, screen scraping allows a program to do. And I can with the APIs list of nomenclature and I can get everything out of the API, which is an API is simply a collection of information and special words by which you can access that information and do other things with it.
Okay.
And the API that LibriVox is dealing with is old. The people who invented the database to hold all the LibriVox data did a thoroughly lousy job of foreseeing the future and what we would need in an API 20 years later. They just didn't know what to put into the API, what functionality to provide. And it's incredible. If I go out and I reach and get the last 15 books cataloged, I will get a list of all the project numbers. If I say go out and give me the last 12, it will not be the last 12 in that earlier request. It is screwier than hell. That's a technical term. It's not, I mean, the only way to get all the information out of the LibriVox database through the API is by going out and 15,000 requests at a time to retrieve the data. I can't go out and get 1,000, the last 1,000 projects. I can't go out and get the last 5,000. I spent so much computer time trying to grab the data in efficient gulp sizes that finally I came to a place where I could, it's usable for several things, and like I say, I met, what's that term? Deafening silence.
No,
No one is interested in it.
I'm
I would-
interested.
I'm having difficulty. I understand that our search engine, when you go to LibriVox and you put it is very sloppy. I don't know how to put that.
Right?
And more,
Yeah.
so is that the API that goes in there and looks at a database?
Yes.
Okay. So Bill, what would you do with? How would you use this?
As best I can go out and reach out and get data from the database via the API, but I have to grab small bites at a time. I can't go out and get, like I say, the last 1,000 books, because what's coming back from one search to another will be different. I can go out and say, give me the last 1,000 cataloged items. Come back 15 minutes later, give me the last 1,000 cataloged items, and it's a different set of projects. And it's not new ones. It's that some in the middle just disappear. The API's code is screwier than hell.
So you're not talking about changing the API code, are you? You're talking about
Yes.
using the API that's there.
That's what, right now, we are limited to doing just that, using the API to extract data from the database. The API should be rewritten. And there are, that is a tremendously
Okay. Well, oh, wait a minute. I see you pointing, Bill, but I can't hear you.
It's all right. It's something I shouldn't say. It was impolite.
Well, no, I mean, Bill, I can understand the aggressive silence that you're
Violence,
the
yes.
violent, ignoring, because I'm having difficulty understanding. It basically comes down to what you're trying to do is work with something that's very defective.
Yes.
You work around it. So, and my question was, how would we use it? Maybe it's being ignored because we don't know how to use it.
Use what, the API?
The one that the program you're writing or whatever. Oh, are you saying they're ignoring the fact that we need to rewrite the API? Or
Well, originally a question arose over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, about what were the latest books that were, latest items that were cataloged. Right? And like these folks who have developed these, not blogs, what do you call them? Podcasts. I'm reaching for a word, and I'm not finding it. They have to use the API to grab their data. Michelle, she is using the RSS feed and grabbing new cataloged items as they come across the wire. But I've found several places where that RSS feed multiply reports books are added, and sometimes just ignores that books have been added. And it's erratic when the RSS feed produces an email to you. The fact that you have to get information about current activities via email, To me, it's an anathema. You should be able to go out to the database with the data and grab the data, not some of the data, but the data. I don't find the RSS feed to be dependable.
Okay, so
Would anybody like to know, does anybody have any interest in the RSS feed? Would anybody like to see a little
look,
2-minute?
probably
on how to-
Rich has got to go. Lunch is calling, and I'm gonna have to go in a few minutes myself. My wife
Oh, okay.
needs her lunch. But what am I, in it RSS feed? I would, as a general information, sure, but not to be useful. I'm more interested in this API thing. How much would it cost to have it rewritten?
I don't know. That question has been posed, and in fact, there are several. There's a what's it called? A forum for the API. What's
Well,
it
I'm gonna-
called, Michelle? Where all the people who have tried using it or tried fixing it. What's that called? Is it an API
Well,
forum?
let's call it the API forum. I'm assuming you're on there.
Yes.
Um,
That's beyond my pay grade. There are some people closely associated with the high muckamucks, what's what I call the MCs, who do have access to the database and the code and could make changes. But it's such a large change, and I think they're still working so that they don't want to do it. It's a major job. It was started off wrongly, and then they started patching and backing and filling
yeah.
to where it's spaghetti code now.
Spaghetti code.
Oh, gee. Well, look, this is a case of where I can put this. We're working. It's working. It works sort of. When you do a search, sometimes you get what you want, sometimes you don't. And even though many people would like to see it redone and streamlined, it's not debilitating. It's not stopping us from limping along. So it's one of those things where you say, oh, well, we'll get around to that.
Okay.
I'm guessing this is why you meet this is why you meet this wall of indifference. It's like, good Lord, we
Exactly
are
what
all
you said, Phil.
Huh?
We're doing what our
Mission.
a mission
what
and
our
all that.
mission is. And so we don't need anything else.
Well, it would be nice to fix a lot of stuff. We have a whole thread back in the admin thing about, what do we need to fix? How much will it cost? How much money we got? We got some money saved up. Internet Archive saved up a pile of money for us that people have donated.
We also have an awful lot of free talent that would just love to assist if they could.
Yes. And how can I put that? People ask us, they say, well, we need to talk to somebody in charge about doing it. And then we get the answer, there ain't nobody in charge, folks. Every one of us volunteers, and there's nobody, and they're astounded, like, well, how do y'all get things done? I said,
It's like living in a commune.
it is. It's like, well, I don't feel like doing it. I mean, I don't like to do some things and I don't do them. But the point is, nobody's in charge. We have a bunch of, and it's sort of like, hey, it's all a consensus, Well, I don't know. So, look, I want to thank y'all for coming today.
Thank you for having the session.
you,
I've
Bill.
missed them too.
I
And
missed them.
I'll try to come tonight and see if I can find any
Tonight
new
at
faces.
9 o'clock.
Mhm.
We're going to do this. Did I say 9? Yeah, 9 o'clock. I'll
Mhm.
still be awake. Thank y'all, everybody, for your work. I love LibriVox. It has been a lifesaver for me, especially in my situation. So God bless y'all. I love you. Oh, look at the little heart. How do you do that?
Little
Heart, your little heart.
I
have a
learned
little-
that at the gymnastics.
birdie.
All the girls were doing that. The gymnasts were all doing
Okay, we're not going to go there. All right. I like y'all, folks. Keep working, and thanks again. This is recorded. If anybody wants to see a copy of it, let me know.
Nice to
Bye-bye.
meet you, Jeffrey. Good to see
Bye-bye.
you,
Bye.
Grace.
Bye.
Good to see you,
Bye-bye.
Bill. Good to see you,
Bye,
Phil.
guys.
All right.
Peter, bye.